Hello everyone, thanks for coming and hanging out with me today. Today I wanted to share with you guys just stuff I've been loving over the last month, as well as some palettes that have come out recently that I love, just because we know this time of year all these brands keep coming out with all this stuff and it gets overwhelming. You're like, which one should I pick up? What do I do? So I wanted to share those just so you can know either to ask for them for presents, to give them for presents, just what's on the market right now and what I'm loving out of that. So let's just get started. So first I want to talk about this just real quick. This is the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. I use this all the time. It's kind of a affordable alternative to a beauty blender. These are usually, I want to say, like $6. I just wanted to mention them because I just picked up like 4 more. I hate going in Walmart, you guys, but I had to recently, and so I checked to see, you know, if they had any of these, and these were on rollback for $4.88. So I bought 4 of them because I just figured one Real Techniques sponge is usually $6. A beauty blender is $20. So if I buy 4 of these, it's like buying 1 beauty blender, but I get 4 beauty blenders, basically. See my math and logic in that. Next, while I was in Walmart, I picked up some 615 lashes. I actually used these in my last tutorial. They're basically like a MAC 35 lash, but instead of being $17 for 1 pair, this whole 5-pack I had was $8. So again, I stocked up while I was there, got a whole backup of them because these are always sold out. I always say they're like the unicorn of eyelashes because you start wondering if they even exist. You're like, where are they? They're always sold out, especially online. They're always sold out. It's raining outside, so all 3 of my babies are in here, per usual. I act like, oh, because it's raining, they're in here. They're always in here. Huh. CC Cream is next on our favorites list. This is by It Cosmetics, and it's called the Your Skin But Better CC Color Correcting Full Coverage Anti-Aging Hydrating Serum with SPF 50. Whew, that was a mouthful. I need another cup of coffee, or drink of coffee at least. So the reason I picked this up, I couldn't stop hearing people rave about it first of all, but one of the major claims was that it provided really good coverage even though it's a CC cream. So that stood out to me because usually products like this are pretty sheer, and I don't like sheer foundations or anything. I like at least medium coverage, if not full. So that stood out to me. I would definitely agree. It comes in 4 different shades. I want to say 4 or 5. I got the shade Light, and I just put this on with a beauty blender. You could also apply it with a brush, and then I set it with a powder. And it has SPF 50 in it, so that's great if you use any type of skincare that you need sunscreen with. Like I use Retin-A. It makes you really sensitive to sunlight, so I always have to have a good SPF. Next, I wanted to talk about MAC Blot Powder. You guys, I work at MAC. I don't know if all you guys know that, but I worked there for almost 2 years now, and I had never tried this until about 3 weeks ago, which is crazy because I'm oily. Like, why wouldn't I have tried out the MAC Blot Powder? But anyways, I finally tried it after seeing one of my friends there put it on, and her skin looked so good. Even our trainer that was leading our meeting was like, what are you putting on over there? It was just amazing. So I went downstairs, I put it right on, and I'm telling you, I've never seen more, what am I trying to say? Like, I've never seen a product be so beneficial to my oiliness better than this one. I feel like I can't talk right now, but basically I try a lot of sprays, powders, primers, all these things for oil control, and they help. They definitely help, but this, like, by leaps and bounds helps. I will put it on and I will stay matte the entire day. The coloring is a little bit weird. Like, I have to buy medium dark in this, and I would never be medium dark in any other powder we sell. So definitely go darker. I would think normally I would buy like light or light plus in something, maybe medium, but like I said, medium dark. So definitely go way darker in this powder if you pick it up. But it's just supposed to be textureless. You just pop it on with this little spongy thing or a brush. I use a brush a lot of times, and it doesn't add a lot of texture to your face. It just takes down the shine. Next is a highlighter from MAC. MAC just came out with 4 new highlighters. This is called Double Gleam, and this is the only one I have out of the new ones, but go check them out, you guys. All 4 of them are beautiful. This is basically, to me, it reminded me of MAC Nylon Eyeshadow. That's really what it reminds me of. It's just a really, really, really pale light gold. It's so pretty, especially if you have fair skin. I just think that is nice because sometimes the only fair skin colors out there are like really, really frosty white ones. You know what I mean? So it's cool that they have a pale light gold highlight like this. It's definitely lighter than Champagne Pop, if you guys have questions about that, because I know when I first saw this, I was like, is that the same as Champagne Pop? Okay, so this one's Champagne Pop, and this one is the MAC one. So as you can see, it's kind of that same color family, but this one's gonna be a lot better for fair skin. So as you guys know, I did a whole video about the MAC holiday kits and stuff like that. So if you wanna see what I picked up from the Nutcracker Suite collection, that video will be linked down below. But my 2 favorite things out of it are the pigment sets and the highlight blush kits. So I believe the bronze one is still sold out everywhere. This one, it has gosh, what is it called? I forget. It's like the most popular highlighter, Whisper of Guilt, which is a gold tone highlighter and then a blush, but this one is still available. This one is the Peach Kit, and it's better for lighter skin. This is actually the highlight I'm wearing today, is this one out of here. So these are so pretty, and they're $35. If you guys can find these still, definitely grab them. I think they are so cute. And then the little pigment sets are also $35. I've done tutorials with this glitter in here. It is so pretty. I just wanted to mention these. Like I said, I have a whole video, so I don't want to spend too much time, but I just think these are such great little presents. So definitely check out the holiday kits at MAC. Next are Lip Tensity lipsticks from MAC. These are new. There was a bunch of lipsticks that came out. Some of these are going to stay around to be permanent. Some are limited. This is Firework, which I love because it's such a hot red. I just think it's so pretty. And then this bottom one is one I've been wearing more daily. It's called Dough, more of a rosy color. So these are satin finish with double the pigment of normal lipsticks is how they're marketed. So they're supposed to be very, very colorful, which as you could tell they are. But they're way more moisturizing than like a matte lipstick, because usually if people want a lot of like opacity and color, they'll go for a matte, but then those are more dry. So these are great if you have more chapped lips, but you still want that color impact. Okay, my last MAC products are these ones. This is my favorite lip combo this month. I think I've told you guys already, so sorry if I'm just annoying you, telling you the same stuff over and over, but this is Viva Glam 3 with Half Red Lip Liner from MAC. It is my favorite lip combo this month just because it's so fall appropriate and it's not super red. You know what I mean? It's more of a neutral red, if that makes sense. And so a lot more skin tones can wear this and feel a little bit more comfortable day to day in it. So I love that lip combo. And plus it's always cool to buy Viva Glams from MAC because it goes towards such a great cause. So I love that Viva Glam 3 right now. Next is a brush from Morphe. This is the M523. I used this in my last tutorial, I think, and I told you guys I would show you guys it in my upcoming favorites video. Mine has little rosy chew marks in it, but you know, normally it wouldn't have all that going on there. But what I like it for, I don't think I used it today, I didn't, but I like it for a really diffused contour. It's just skinny, so it fits right under your cheekbone really nice, and then you could use it, you know, up in your hairline. So I like it a lot for bronzer. I've been using it a ton. I think this was actually on Jaclyn Hill's favorite Morphe video, so that's why I picked it up a long time ago, and I just finally started using it and I love it. Mustard in general has been my jam this month. I love it. It was inspired by, I think I told you guys in my haul, I went into the MAC store and the girl had goldenrod all over her crease, but goldenrod was discontinued, so she had me buy chrome yellow, but it's so bright that I kind of calm it down with other colors I mix in. But then I found this mustard one at Sephora. This is by Makeup Forever. It's, what is it really called? Makeup Forever M408. So this is probably my favorite out of all of them I've been wearing. I use this as a transition shade in the crease. If it was more pigmented, it would be my favorite shadow of all time. That's the one thing I'm like, it's just not as pigmented as I want. So sometimes I'll throw in some more of that brighter color. So I just love mustard and yellow right now. It's so pretty. Next, I wanted to talk about this book by Lauren Conrad. I've had this forever and I just pull it out every once in a while and just reference it. I love her, first of all. She's so cute. When I was in high school, Laguna Beach was huge, and then I loved her on the hills, and she always has cute style. So she talks about in the book when she was filming those shows how she really learned how to take a set like of key pieces in her closet and mix it up to make all different outfits so that she didn't look the same, you know, every day of filming. So she talks about that a lot. She talks about kind of what pieces to splurge on, which ones to maybe do on more of a budget if they're like a trendier piece. So I just like this, especially when I do things like I just did where I clean out my whole closet, because it helps you remember like, okay, how do I make it to where I feel like I have stuff to wear? Because sometimes you have a ton of clothes, but none of it goes together and stuff. I thought that'd be a cute present too for Christmas coming up. The next product I want to talk about is super random. It's called Egyptian Magic. And the reason I picked this product up is because I love Jessie James Decker. I think I've told you guys that. I just think she is so damn cute. She's like one of my girl crushes. Well, I found out a while back who her makeup artist was, and I started following her too, and she's the exact same way. She's so cute. Her name is Jess Southern, so followed her on Instagram, and then she just recently started a YouTube channel. So I've been watching that, and she shared that this was one of her favorite products. Well, she uses this as her moisturizer. I couldn't use this heavy of a moisturizer all the time, but I use it at night lately, and I love it. I wake up and my skin is so nice and hydrated, and the reason I really like it too, it's super cheap, and it only has a couple ingredients. It's olive oil, beeswax, honey, bee pollen, royal jelly, and propolis extract. So it's super natural, you know what I mean, which is great because I use Retin-A, like I said earlier in the video. So I can't mix a ton of different skincare or my skin will go crazy. But this stuff is, basically it's a solid in here. And then when you scoop a little bit of it out, and you start like rolling it around in your skin, it becomes like an oil. And like I said, it's super, super oily. A lot of people aren't gonna like this because it feels oily. You know what I mean? Some people don't like that. It doesn't absorb super fast or anything, but I love it for like my cuticles. I'd put it on my face. When I went and visited Emily, right when she took it out to use it, she was like, ugh, I don't like the feeling of this. And within like 5 minutes, she's like, no, I do. I feel like it's hydrating. I really like it. And she used it both days I stayed with her. So I just wanted to mention it because it's super cheap and it just makes your skin feel so great. Okay, now I just wanted to mention my favorite palettes at the moment. I know it's kind of crazy, there's a bunch of them, but with the holidays, like I said in the intro coming up, I wanted to share my favorites so that you guys can see what to buy for presents or what to ask for presents, all that good stuff. So the first one I want to talk about, I've talked about a ton. I'm probably beating this subject to death, but this is the Modern Renaissance palette. I've done a few tutorials with it. It's from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It is so pretty, especially for this time of year, for fall. Lots of like pinks and reds and oranges. It is just gorgeous. And it has a nice mix of mattes and shimmers, which I love because then you could do complete looks with it and you don't need to grab any other palette. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go through these pretty fast just because I have a lot, but that is a great one. So the next one is by Huda Beauty, and this one is actually pretty similar to that Modern Renaissance palette in terms of the colors. You know what I mean? It's still like those pinks and reds and that kind of thing. This just came out and it says Rose Gold Edition, but this one is so pretty. I actually just got the chance to play with this the other night and it is out of this world. I actually recorded like a whole little get ready with me while I was using it, but I didn't like the footage. It turned out I just looked gross. I'm PMSing this week, so I was just like, ew, I look horrendous. But like, look at these two little swatches. They are just so pretty and pigmented. So I wanted to mention that because it is a really, really pretty palette, and I think this one is limited. But again, kind of the same as the Modern Renaissance. It has a ton of mattes and then it has some shimmers, and I love when palettes have both. So see what I mean? Like, you don't need both of those. They're very, very similar in the tones they have, but you need one of those, you know, either one. Okay, next is the Master Palette by Mario and Anastasia. I honestly have not even used this yet. I've only swatched it for you guys. But this one I think would be a great, great present. No one is gonna get this and be like, oh my gosh, a neutral palette, gross. You know what I mean? Like, everyone will use this, everyone will love this. And it has only 3 mattes, which that's my only reservation about this palette, is a lot of them are shimmery, but the mattes it does have is great. I think if they had a matte creamy color, that would just seal the deal because they don't really have a matte highlight in here. But I just think this is a good one for a present and just really beautiful. This one is limited edition. Next is the Matte Metal palette from Kat Von D. Isn't that so cool? So this is huge, by the way. Look at it next to this last palette I just shared with you guys. So this, again, I haven't had a chance to try some of these, but I wanted to share them just because I think they are such great little presents, especially like if you have a makeup collector in your life, they would be so psyched to get this. Other than that, it's fun for you to have for color, like if you want some pops of color. All these down here are matte and all those up there are metallic, so just a huge array of pigments and colors, so thought that was a fun one. Lastly is the Natasha Denona Star palette. This is so pretty, you guys. I finally got it. It was hard for me because it's a splurge. It's $169, I want to say, for this, or $159, something like that. But let me just explain. So first of all, Natasha Denona came out with these 2 palettes that were super popular. I forget the names of them. I'll put little pictures right here so you guys can see what I'm talking about, but they were basically a lot of the same thing. Like, it was a lot of green and a lot of purple on one, like purple and blue on one, and so I just felt like I couldn't splurge. Those ones were more. I want to say those were in the $200 range, so those were more of like a lot of the same thing. I felt weird splurging on something that had so many of the same colors in it. So this, when I saw it, it was still one of her big palettes, but it had a lot more variety in it. It was just some, you know, coolers and some warmer tones. So I loved that, and I finally just picked up one of her palettes because of the color selection. Basically, that's what struck me. So they are so pigmented and just so buttery, you guys. Like, it is just crazy. Okay, you guys, watch. Like, that is just craziness. There's no primer. It is so pretty. Let me swatch some of the mattes. Okay, so those are 2 of the brown matte shades in there. They're just so, so pretty and so buttery. Like, they're definitely great quality eyeshadows. So I was just thinking though, like, damn, like $10 an eyeshadow. When you break it down, it's like $9 or $10 an eyeshadow, I think, after tax of this. But then I thought, you know what, Makeup Geek, like some of these ones in my mustard palette I put together. These foiled shadows remind me a lot of the Natasha Denona shadows. And these are $9.99 each. So it's kind of like, oh my gosh, it just seems like a lot because it's in a palette. You know what I mean? Like this is a Makeup Geek one. I'll put it right here. They're very, very similar. They're super pigmented like that, but you buy the Makeup Geek one separately, so it doesn't seem so crazy. You're like, oh, $10 on an eyeshadow, $170 on a palette. But when you break it down for 18 eyeshadows, it's really comparable to the Makeup Geek prices. It's just scary to buy it all at once. So anyways, I wanted to talk about that just because it's so pretty. If you want to splurge on someone and buy them a gorgeous Christmas present, if they would never buy it themselves, get this. Otherwise, Beautylish, which is where I bought it, it's really cool. They do monthly payment. I think it's called like a payment flex plan. So I signed up for that just to help my mind like not think about the fact that I was spending so much on an eyeshadow palette. So I think I broke mine into 3 months. So I paid like $66 for the next 2 months. And that way you don't think like I'm spending $170 on this eyeshadow palette. It's more like a bill. Like you, oh, I set up automatic payments for my makeup bill. Like that's how I thought about it. So Beautylish does that, I think, if you spend over $100. So that's what I did to buy this. So it didn't seem so crazy to me. All right, you guys, that is all of my favorites. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys really soon. Bye.